Another video. It's me again, Princess Rysel, and sorry for this brief hiatus, in uploading videos, but then someone asked me on how she can make use of this quarantine period to prepare for nursing school. So I decided why not make a video out of it for all of you guys. So in this video, we're gonna talk about what you could probably infer already from the title, and that covers my nursing subjects, topic outlines, recommended latest edition books, study tips, requirements, and other must-know in your first year, first semester as a nursing student. And I'm planning to upload more nursing videos, and if that's something that interests you, please do consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. And as you may all know, I'm a second-year nursing student here in the Philippines, and I'm forbid to share with you guys, my recent experiences, tip-off, and forewarning maybe. Let's get started. So here are my subjects for the first semester. And by the way, unit is actually the time value of a course. Let's say for example, in a 3 unit of credit, you'll have 3 hours per week for 18 weeks or 54 hours in a semester. So ganito kasi yan, parang imumultiply yung mismong grade na makukuha mo sa mismong credit niya. In this video, I would like to accentuate the professional courses and major courses and probably just run down the general education courses, or what we usually call as the minor subjects. Besides, these minor subjects really vary on your professors or college. And if you want to know more about the nursing curriculum, check out SHED Memorandum Order number 15, series of 2017. Subject is anatomy and physiology, and this subject is substantial for you to have a solid foundation or pretty good head start in nursing school, and you really have to exert an extreme effort in this subject kasi mahirap talaga siya, and you really have to know talaga yung normal processes para mas maintindihan mo siya once na magkaroon ng deviation, and lo and behold, you would appreciate, understand, and integrate yung mga learnings mo dito sa mga susunod na aaralin mo. Well, I can show you the actual printed books that I have because I left it in Manila and I'm in my province right now, but I'll show you the cover page of the ebooks that I have here. Well, my preferred book reference for this is Seeley's Anatomy and Physiology, 12th edition. This is actually detailed to provide you a comprehensive understanding on the concept. However, if you don't want to overwhelm yourself with the complexity and lengthy text, there is actually a simplified version or a concise version of this, which is the Seeley's Principles of Anatomy and Physiology of Philip Tate. And another book reference is Principles of Anatomy and Physiology nung kay Tortora. This is actually more detailed and in-depth compared to Seeley's para sa akin. So assuming you have no prior knowledge with it, mas madali pa rin intindihan yung Seeley's Anatomy and Physiology. The daunting task is absorbing information for a short period of time. Like, you really have to allot reading time talaga para dito. And how do I study for this? I read first the whole chapter to learn and understand the concept and physiology so I can differentiate what is good to know from need to know. That comes down in analyzing diagrams, highlighting the textbook, and jotting down a condensed note or an outline. To better my understanding, I watch YouTube videos. I recommend Crash Course channel and Wendy Rick's channel so you can grasp the general concept and delve deeper as you review your book and other material. Then you memorize the anatomy and other need-to-know aspects. At the end of every chapter, I summarize and recall the notes, then repetition is necessary for memory retention. Test your memory and practice your critical thinking skills through test banks. By the way, check out my study tips from the previous video, which I will link here. In your laboratory, apart from your experiments, you'll probably experience moving exams or oral revalida. Moving exam is a type of lab exam in which you move from one station to another after answering a question at a certain amount of time. For example, there's a microscope and you have to identify what type of epithelial tissue is that on the microscope, and when the bell rings, time is over there, you have to move to the station even though wala ka pang answer. On the other hand, oral revalida is an oral defense requiring you to answer clinical questions and defend your answers. In ANFI, maybe you'll be asked about blood circulation or muscle contraction and explain how it works and tell them everything you know. To prepare for this grievous test, just understand the physiology instead of memorizing. So next subject is theoretical foundations in nursing. So you're gonna start off with a brief history of nursing in the Philippines and some related nursing laws, but the main highlight is the nursing theorists. And for the book, I would recommend Martha Aligood's Nursing Theorists and Their Work. And this basically revolves around who's the theorist, what's his theory, and how he explains his theory or model. And the nursing process, which is the ADBY, it's also underscored, though it would be further discussed in your basic concepts, which will be next semester. So when I first heard about the topics, this sounded somewhat like, study discussion. Imagine discussing also the biographies ng mga theorists na yon, and then you either follow the lecturing discussion or integrate this nursing theories to clinical practice so that you can appreciate it in the process. So choose the latter if you want to pass. Mind you, appreciating and understanding these nursing theories can even guide you in a clinical practice or setting. So next subject is the biochemistry and lab. As we all know, biochemistry is the study of the biochemical processes that occurs in living organisms. Mind you, this subject is challenging na kailangan mo talagang bigyang focus this semester. And I assume you already had your precondition with the biology 1 and 2 and chemistry 1 and 2, which is somehow an edge if you're under the STEM strand. By the way, I was also part of the pioneer batch of the K-12 education program. If you're not under STEM strand, don't worry, you still got this. Fighting. Book recommendation would be General Organic and Biological Chemistry of Stephen Stoker, but there's also this Philippine edition ng CNE Publishing, Biochemistry by Stephen Stoker, which I bought for like 525 pesos. Another book recommendation is Biochemistry by Richard Harvey. This subject is quite hard to self-study, so in case you'll be needing some sort of assistance, I would really encourage you to visit YouTube channels of Armando Hasudungan, Ninja Nerd Lecture, and Professor Dave Explains. Girl, I commend them for such great learning platform. So the topic in your ANAFE, Chemical Basis for Life in Cell Biology, would be much appreciated and understood in this subject. So it basically includes the macromolecules and its metabolism, yung mga carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. It also includes yung mga enzymes, vitamins, and biochemical energy production. What else? Yung mga matututunan nyo talaga dito, ma-apply nyo talaga siya sa nutrition subject nyo next year. In your laboratory, I have nothing much to say other than just to expect pre-lab and post-lab activities from your experiments. And personally, I'm really enthusiastic about laboratory activities. If I'm not in nursing, I would probably be in BS Pharmacy or Chemical Engineering. Well, I'm not telling that to encourage you to shift your course, just to make things clear. So next, let's move on to minor subjects. So these are the ones that I took up. However, this may still vary depending on the discretion of your college, kung take nyo na ba siya this sem or next sem pa. And to make it more general, I'll just give you a course description and topic outline provided by the CHED. Well, you could actually search for that, or I will just leave a link in the description box below. It's a walk in the park compared to the previous subjects I've mentioned, but it doesn't mean that you have to be so lenient. See it as an opportunity para hatakin natin yung grades natin, diba? Kaya okay lang talaga kahit may mga minors pa rin, marami pa rin tayong minors this college. So for the book, I will just share with you some useful references, but as I see it, you don't really have to buy one unless it's mandated by your professor. This inculcates you with respect and appreciation for the Philippine arts. And somehow may pagkapareho siya sa contemporary Philippine arts from the region na tinake nung senior high. And it's basically, a breather from the difficult subject. Ito yung subject na feel mo, high school ka pa rin. So check out the book from Rex Bookstore, Art Appreciation, for 278 pesos. So mathematics in the modern world, ito yung math na chill lang. Mga mathematical concepts that we see or use in our everyday lives, basic talaga compared sa mga subjects na tinake natin ng senior high. This is the course outline from the CHED, which coincides with the topics in the Rex Bookstore na nabili ko for 278 pesos. itself, there will be a lot of readings. I actually forgot the books and the references that I used, but anyway, there are a lot of resources and references cited on the CHED syllabus. There are too many to mention, girl, so just check it out. This basically revolves around the three elements of the moral experience, the agent, act, and reason. Anticipate discussion about ethical dilemmas that you may encounter in your clinical practice. There's the ethics book from Rex Bookstore for 278 pesos. Para sa akin, much better kung ethics in the nursing practice na yung babasahin mo. I recommend Nursing Ethics and Professional Responsibility and Advanced Practice by Grace and Nursing Ethics Across the Curriculum and Into Practice by Butts and Rich. And read also NMC Code, Code of Ethics for Filipino Nurses, and RA 9173. Good to know yung mga yon. Last senior high, merong subject na understanding the society, culture, and politics. Ngayon naman, understanding the self, which is of course directive to oneself or nature of identity. So it encompasses the following topics. So check out the Understanding the Self from Rex Bookstore and Understanding the Self by Richard Stevens. So this I think is supplementary to the Introduction to the Human Philosophy na tinake din natin ng senior high. Last but not the least, Foundation of Physical Activities. Do I have to expound this? At some point, it might be easy to say all of these things, but hard to effectuate once you become overwhelmed and apathetic. So let's not be lazy bones. Do what we gotta do. I survive, well, barely. But anyway, sharing with you these tips, guys, I know you would do good in your subjects. If you have a lot of takeaways in this video, please hit like and subscribe and leave a comment down below for any suggestions. And that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for your support and feedbacks. That's indeed overwhelming and motivating. And good luck on your first year.